Okay, so let's take a look at an app called Let's Be Social, and let's open it up. And this is all about teaching social skills, and when you open it up you get a bunch of screens that you can scroll through to see what the app is about, and you can go back and forth on this. Created by an SLP, so the content is based on a therapy setting, and it's fully customizable, which is actually really good. When you go into the settings part, you've got a bunch of information here. You have to log in when you start the app, but tell a friend about us and privacy. You can look at those in your own time. But if we click on start a lesson, what happens is you come up with 5 different social scenarios. So personal interaction, navigating the community, school behavior, handling change, and then social relationships. And within each one of those you've got a different amount of stories that you can go through. Okay, like that. And if you want to, you can add a totally different skill set. So let's say you wanted to create something about going to a friend's house, or maybe going to the zoo, or whatever it is, riding on the bus in the morning, something like that. You can add your own skill set, which is what's really amazing about this app. Now, let's say, for example, we go on school behavior and we want to go look at eating in the cafeteria. What happens is you open it up and you get a short story, and I'll read this to you. It is lunchtime at school. The teacher says line up. Tom lines up with his class in the cafeteria. Tom is not sure where to sit. He walks up to an empty seat with boys from his class. He asks if he can sit there. The kids say yes. Tom eats his lunch with the other students. He keeps his hands to himself. When lunch is over, Tom cleans up his area and throws his lunch in the trash. So you've got a total social scenario going on there. Now when we go into the actual part here, you have to answer the questions. So it's all about comprehension and how the child understands the scenario. So it is lunchtime at school. The teacher says line up. What should Tom do? Based on the paragraph that we've just read, we're going to answer these questions. So let's click on line up, and we got the right question here, the right answer I should say. What is appropriate behavior for the cafeteria? You have 3 choices here. Sit down and eat. Tom is not sure where to sit. What should he do? Ask a group if he can sit with them. And we're just going to go through the correct answers for this demonstration, so to show you how it works. Tom does not want to eat his lunch. What should he do? Well, he should probably eat some of it, right? Lunch is over. What should Tom do? Clean up? Yep. Okay, and then you go through that again and you finish, and you'll see that you've got a complete lesson. And then it takes you back to that screen. Now, any time in there, if you want to add a lesson to school behavior, you can simply click on school behavior here, and you can basically download the scenario that works for you, depending on what it should be. You can cancel that and go back out, and you can go back into other scenarios. You can add a skill set, like I said, to create any sort of scenario that would work. So let me show you how this works. If we go to personal interactions, for example, and we add a lesson, and we're just going to call, let's go here, we're just going to call this a test, just to show you how easy this is. And we'll add an image. I'm not sure if I've got any photos in here, but we'll pick one. Of course, this would be a photo of the scenario. We'll save it. And then you'd go and you'd add a question. So you'd put your question in here, depending on the story, and you'd have an image like you saw in the story, and then you'd have your answers right here. And it's as simple as choosing which one of the 3 are the correct answers, and then you can move on to the next one. So you can create pretty much whatever it is that you can imagine. So the great thing about this app is that it is expandable to any scenario or situation that you are currently trying to work on or go through with your child or class, or whatever the scenario may be. So I suggest you check it out. It's really simple to use. It's very, very nicely done. The graphics are really good. It comes with 5 different social interactions straight off the bat, and you can create as many as you like using your own photos. So have a look. it is very easy to use, and I recommend that you give it a shot. It's called Let's Be Social, and it teaches some great social skills. So check it out.